Meta governance, role of metaverse in India's e-governance. This article published in Niti Aayog official website. Meta governance, role of metaverse in India's e-governance. What is metaverse? To understand the metaverse, we have to travel back to 1992 when the word metaverse was first coined by Neil Stephenson in his science fiction novel Snow Crash, where humans in their avatars interacted with each other in a virtual space. Metaverse is a combination of two words. One is meta and universe. Meta means which has its Greek origin and which means beyond or across. It is a virtual realm where physical, augmented, and virtual reality converge. To put it simply, in the metaverse, you will experience the internet in 3D using AR, VR devices, and other body gears. Indians have caught the metaverse fever. A couple from Tamil Nadu hosted India's first wedding reception in metaverse. Punjabi singer Daler Mehendi's 73rd Republic Day virtual performance made him the first Indian artist to enter the virtual world to entertain his fans. Jio has announced its investment of $15 million in Silicon Valley based deep tech startup, two platforms for a 25% equity stake. The interest in the tech is just rising. With the private sector's aggressive campaign into the metaverse, it is the right time for the government to create the right policy background for its operation and leverage the metaverse for public services. With the advent of information and communication technology, ICT, government had leveraged the Web 2.0 at the right time and started providing much of its services through the internet. A similar opportunity with the Web 3.0 stands in the face of the government. The question is how would the meta governance model of government look like? To get the answer, let us first understand what e governance is. What is e governance? E governance is the usage of ICT by the government to provide government services and achieve governance objectives. In his paper, Dr. Eri Halakshmi, E-Government Theory and Practice, the evidence from Tennessee, had given 5 crucial models of e-governance, meta-governance, including its challenges and threats, can be visualized through these e-governance models. Broadcasting model. The broadcasting model talks about the dissemination of helpful governance information through ICT. The government could set up a meta division under its broadcasting agencies Doordarshan, All India Radio, Lok Sabha TV, Rajya Sabha TV, now it's called Sansad TV, etc. Or could set up its own meta government in the future. Through the meta Man Ki Baat, the digitized avatar of the Prime Minister PM could be sitting right in front of you. The impact created by a campaign run on the meta Man Ki Baat, like selfie with daughter, Incredible India and Fit India, could potentially have more impact. Similarly, the meta Pariksha Pe Charcha can give students, parents, or teachers to chance to hang out with the digitized avatar of the PM. The broadcasting model would be a one-way channel, and the people would be in the same room where the event is happening. They will not able to ask questions and interact with the authorities. Critical flow model. In the critical flow model of e-governance, essential information is released to target audience through ICT. Meta help desks or meta division in a particular ministry or other government agencies can help in providing the critical data required. The government could inform the Indian Medical Association and such bodies in a meta meet about the 50 lakh rupees insurance coverage to doctors. Similarly, the government could disseminate information about the update on the pension scheme to all the pensioners in a meta room. Comparative analysis model. The comparative analysis model is a significant for developing countries and can empower people in this model. Benchmark parameters means of innovation index, school education, quality index are created. And then regional parameters at district, state, and national level are compared with the benchmark parameters. The PM and the CMs of all the states can collaborate in the metaverse where every CM describes their best governance practices. The CM can explain how an intervention helped improve the outcome. In the meta meet, a CM could make a comparison over a time scale to get a snapshot of the past and present situation on specific pre-decided benchmarks. For example, infant mortality rate IMR, maternity mortality rate MMR, etc. E-advocacy or mobilization and lobbying model. This model builds online forums and gathers the public opinions for a particular policy. This model helps create a diversity of virtual communities and the ideas, expertise, and resources are accumulated through this virtual form of networking. It makes use of human resources beyond geographical and bureaucratic barriers. In future, the Ministry of Commerce officials could sit in a virtual room with the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry FICCI and make decisions on business policies. Similarly, the Ministry of Law could meta meet Bar Council of India BCI representatives and the Ministry of Education could meta meet All India Federation of University and College Teachers AIFUCT for effective policy formulation. And the next, interactive services model. This model enables a two-way interactive flow of information among the participants. It is mainly used in providing public services online to the public, and it is a government to consumer to government model. G2C to G model. In the future, an RTO officer could inspect your vehicle and the submitted documents while sitting at your home, plugged into your VR headset in the Meta RTO. The public official's avatar in the metaverse will provide convenient consultations and civil service available only through the municipal corporations. The interoperability of the ecosystem would be such that the same user will swiftly move through the passport office, RTO, and municipal corporation office without logging into the individual platforms. It will be one unified continuous experience for the citizens. Challenges in front of government for building the metaverse. The foremost challenge to overcome is the age old battle of tradition versus technology. Historically, it is proven that governments have been slow paced and reluctant to adopt new technology, either due to their archaic ethos or due to cost and infrastructure challenges. Building a pragmatic, robust, and accessible meta governance infrastructure is wrought with difficulties. At the very least, it will require a 5G connection to provide a safe and reliable experience. Unfortunately, most rural communities are still struggling with the acquiring and maintaining a secure 3G connections. Still, when then there is the paramount energy issue needed for the metaverse to operate. The amount of energy currently available is inadequate compared to the energy warranted by the metaverse. How do we plug this void? Should we use alternate energy sources like hydrogen fuel cells? Even if we can solve this issue, it is a it is just a drop in the sea of challenges ahead. Building a citizen friendly meta governance infrastructure will need a collaboration by the experts from various disciplines, including designers, business model experts, and lawyers to mitigate any potential legal hurdles. The selection of this expert panel will be pivotal for robust meta governance. Private sector intervention may be required as well, and if so, in this scenario, is not it a possibility that the privacy and security of the citizens might be compromised? Recently, a British woman alleged that a couple of men assaulted her virtual avatar. The possibilities, both beneficial and maleficent, are still being discovered. And the next, threats of metaverse. Even if we can overcome 80% of the challenges mentioned, the threats of the metaverse are still genuine and prevalent. Digital divide is a legitimate concern. There exists a possibility of the citizens' data being collected and sold to third-party aggregators of citizens being harassed and being harassed with targeted marketing campaigns in the metaverse. Further, if the metaverse suffers from weak security procedures, it may also be vulnerable to cyber attacks, identity theft, fraud, and a safe haven for the harassers, criminals, and fringy groups. Proper regulation and clear policy for a metaverse will be essential to curtail this risk. This risk. If you want to know the clarity of some parts of threats, you can watch the documentary in Netflix called Cyber Warfare. It's a recently released documentary. సో ఇది మెటావర్స్ అన్నమాట. సో గ్రౌండ్ లెవెల్లో మెటావర్స్ అండ్ ఈ గవర్నెన్స్ తీసుకొస్తే మ్యాక్సిమం కరప్షన్ ఎండ్ అయ్యే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటుంది. మ్యాక్సిమం మీన్స్ 60% ఆఫ్ కరప్షన్.